among this congregation, that I may consume them in a moment. And they fell upon their faces and said, O power, the power of the spirits of all flesh, shall one man sin, and wilt thou be wroth with all the congregation? And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the congregation, saying, Get you up from about the tabernacle of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram. And Moses rose up and went unto Dathan and Abiram, and the elders of Israel followed him. And he spake unto the congregation, saying, Depart, I pray you, from the tents of these wicked men, and touch nothing of theirs, lest you be consumed in all their sins. So they got up from the tabernacle of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram on every side. And Dathan and Abiram came out and stood in the door of their tents, and their wives and their sons and their little ones, and the little children. And Moses said, Hereby you shall know that the Lord hath sent me to do all these works, for I have not done them of mine own mind. If these men die the common death of all men, or if they be visited after the visitation of all men, then the Lord hath not sent me. But if the Lord make a new thing, and the earth open her mouth, and swallow them up, with all that appertaineth unto them, and they go down quick into the pit, and then you shall understand that these men have provoked the Lord. And it came to pass, as he had made an end of speaking, all these words, that the ground clave asunder that was under them, and the earth opened her mouth and swallowed them up, and their houses, and all the men that appertain unto Korah, and all their goods. They and all that appertained to them went down alive into the pit. And the earth closed upon them, and they perished from among the congregation. And all Israel that were round about them fled at the cry of them. For they said, Lest the earth swallow us up also. And there came out a fire from the Lord, and consumed the 250 men that offered incense. Now, notice that Moses said, Look, you other people that are not with this, you separate yourselves from these men. Otherwise, you're going to be partakers of their sins. And that's what, beginning with Elder Tahar on down, we've been telling you brothers to get away from these false prophets, lest when the Most High bring judgment upon them, he also gets you caught up in there. It says, And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto Eleazar the son of Aaron the priest, that he take up the censers out of the burning, and scatter thou the fire yonder, for they are hallowed. The censers of these sinners against their own souls, let them make them broad plates for a covering of the altar, for they offered them before the Lord, therefore they are hallowed. And they shall be a sign unto the children of Israel. And Eleazar the priest took the brazen censer wherewith they that were burnt had offered, and they were made broad plates for a covering of the altar, to be a memorial unto the children of Israel, that no stranger, which is not of the seed of Aaron, come near to offer incense before the Lord, that he be not as Korah and as his company, as the Lord said to him by the hand of Moses.
Yeah, so, that's just an example, man. Now let's go back to Jude.
This is Jude chapter 1, verse 11. Woe unto them, for they have gone in the way of Cain, and ran greedily after the error of Balaam for reward, and perished in the gainsaying of Korah. These are spots in your feasts of charity, when they feast with you, feeding themselves without fear. Clouds they are without water.
Yeah. Yep. They go to the Passover, and they popping shit, in their mind. They got reservations in their mind, So the Most High sees through all that, Go ahead.
Clouds they are without water, carried about of winds. Trees whose fruit withereth, without fruit, twice dead, plucked up.
Right. I'm gonna read that again. Fruit that are that withered. That's a guy that was on fire for a certain amount of time. Then he no longer has this truth. The spirit is going out of him, just like a fruit. You see a fruit, and the fruit's all withered and everything. You're gonna throw it away. You're not gonna eat. You're not gonna cut around it. You're just gonna throw the whole fruit away. You're gonna get mad, and you're gonna throw that whole fruit away. And we've been seeing this for years, man. Going back to the main school at One West. Everything that we talk about, we have seen, we have witnessed. Go ahead.
These are spots in your feast of charity, when they feast with you, feeding themselves without fear. Clouds they are without water, carried about of winds.
Right, carried about of winds. You know that the winds represent? different doctrines. You're going to go to this guy and ask him, and you're not sure whether he got it. Then you're going to go to that guy. Then for a while you have it. Then somebody else comes along and tells you something else. Then you follow that. That's what that's talking about. Go ahead.
Trees whose fruit withereth, without fruit, twice dead, plucked up by the roots. Raging waves of the sea, foaming out their own shame.
Yeah, man, you come thinking that you know more than we know, but then you come hard with it like that's going to push it over. Right. Foaming out your own shame. Go ahead.
Wandering stars.
Wandering stars. You see these certain brothers that came up in Israel, they're trying to get back up in there, or they're trying to get straight with the Most High, and they follow one group, then they go to the other group, then they might become a Muslim for about 2 weeks, then they might become an atheist, then they might become a Hare Krishna, then they want to become a Republican, then they want to become a damn Democrat, then they want to kill themselves, then they want to be an Israelite again. Then they want to question whether the Most High exists. That's the Most High slapping your ass around like a pinball game, like a ball in a pinball game. Go ahead.
It says, to whom is reserved the blackness of darkness forever. And Enoch also, the seventh from Adam, prophesied of these, saying, behold, the Lord cometh with 10,000s of his saints, to execute judgment upon all, and to convince all that are ungodly among them of all their ungodly deeds which they have ungodly committed, and of all their hard speeches which ungodly sinners have spoken against him. These are murmurers, complainers, walking after their own lusts, and their mouth speaketh great swelling words, having men's person in admiration.
Right, and they give me what is that, Ezekiel 13. They make sure they get a certain group of people to follow them. So now they feel real confident because they got these guys behind them. So they think that the Most High is with them because they got somebody following them. All right, go right to the point. I believe that's the 5th verse, if I'm not mistaken.
It's Ezekiel 13:5. You have not gone up into the gaps.
You know what? Start at the first verse.
Ezekiel 13:1. And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, prophesy against the prophets of Israel that prophesy. And say thou unto them that prophesy out of their own hearts, hear ye the word of the Lord. Thus saith the Lord.
Yeah, when you get all messed up and bent out of shape over this Trayvon Martin situation, and you're going to go down there and set a camp like Kanai. He done went, that blockhead that went down there, set up a camp at the rally, and if you watch the video, it was like you wasn't even there. Everybody had their back towards you, and they were just walking right past you. They didn't even stop and look. They didn't want to hear what you had to say. So why get all messed up over that, man? You already know that's going to happen, and it's going to get worse. The reason why that boy got shot is because of the Most High wanted him to be shot, and the Most High wanted to stir things up. That's why he got shot. Go ahead.
It says, thus saith the Lord power, woe unto the foolish prophets that follow their own spirit.
Well, that's them. Kanai, Nate, these guys that made those deals, got those suitcase prophets, I'm gonna call them. They get the suitcase with $1 million in it or whatever amount of money that they get, and they do whatever the elite demons tell them what to do. Go ahead.
Woe unto the foolish prophets that follow their own spirit and have seen nothing. O Israel, thy prophets are like the foxes in the deserts. You have not gone up into the gaps.
Right, the gaps represent going out on the highways and the byways, which a lot of y'all are doing, but you ain't bringing the truth. Go ahead.
It says, neither made up the hedge for the house of Israel to stand in the battle in the day of the Lord. They have seen vanity and lying divination, saying, the Lord saith, and the Lord hath not sent them. And they have made others to hope that they would confirm the word.
That's that group of followers that blindly follow him. Go ahead.
Back in Jude.
Go ahead. Bring it on out.
Yeah, because Elder Tar mentioned about that kid who got shot, and basically the Most High had him get shot. This is Hosea 4:1. It says, "Hear the word of the Lord, ye children of Israel, for the Lord have a controversy with the inhabitants of the land, because there is no truth, nor mercy, nor knowledge of the power in the land." That's one of the reasons why that little boy got shot, and it's going to get worse, like we said. By